With a rookie director, a recast fan favourite, and a fire that almost stopped production if it hadn't been for Captain Kirk himself, Star Trek 3 may not be considered one of the great Trek films, but it is one that's still highly enjoyable and, in my opinion at least, underrated by many. In this video, we're diving into 5 facts that you didn't know about Star Trek 3: Search for Spock. The confidence behind the scenes of The Wrath of Khan was so strong that talk of a sequel started even before the movie hit cinemas. Producer Harve Bennett was so sure they'd get that sequel that he even crafted the Remember mind meld on set. And that's just next level confidence. That's like ordering the engagement ring before the first date is over. Well, in Star Trek movie terms, it's more like the second date because that first one, that was rough. No. Now, originally, Nicholas Meyer was asked to direct the sequel, but he didn't want to undo what he had set in Wrath of Khan. He didn't want to be the guy who brought Spock back from the dead, potentially undercutting the tragedy that he had just directed in Star Trek 2. So, who do you call when you need Spock resurrected? Well, the man himself, Leonard Nimoy. Now, during the original series, both William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy wanted to direct episodes, but had been rebuffed many times. However, when the studio approached Nimoy about returning to Star Trek, he saw this as a chance to direct. This wasn't about a bigger paycheck, though. As Nimoy wrote in his book, I Am Spock, money wasn't the major issue. What I wanted most was an interesting challenge. And Star Trek 3 was that challenge. Nimoy became the first cast member to direct something Star Trek, paving the way for others like Jonathan Frakes, Avery Brooks, and Robert Picardo. And of course, it also meant Shatner would finally get his shot to direct himself, delivering this line.
What does God need with a starship?
Iconic, right? Just maybe not for the reasons that he hoped. Introduced in The Wrath of Khan, Saavik was a young Vulcan character under Spock's mentorship. Originally played by Kirstie Alley, Saavik was seen as a standout character in Star Trek 2, and instantly popular amongst fans. Naturally, the studio and fans alike wanted her to return. However, according to Alley, the producers offered her less money than what she had earned for Wrath of Khan, so naturally, she said no. Not that stopped her from success. She left those Vulcan years behind and eventually went on to join the cast of Cheers.
If he really loves you, he'll come back.
Instead of changing the character, they changed the actor, with Robin Curtis stepping into the role. However, fans noticed a big change in the character. Gone was the Vulcan who said damn during the Kobayashi Maru and openly cried at Spock's funeral. Instead, Curtis played a much more traditional Vulcan, a little less emotional, a little more detached, and this was all thanks, according to Curtis, to the direction of the King Vulcan, Leonard Nimoy. Nimoy told her to think of Vulcans as having 1,000 years of wisdom behind the eyes, and he personally guided her through the role. And look, I get the change in character. Look, in Wrath of Khan, she's young, she's career-focused, with everything ahead of her, but in Search for Spock, she suddenly ends up having to parent an infant Spock. And as a parent myself, I know it's not 1,000 years of wisdom behind those eyes, it's 1,000 years of a lack of sleep. One of the most iconic gestures in Star Trek is, of course, the Vulcan salute. Devised by the King Vulcan himself, Leonard Nimoy, it is frequently performed alongside the phrase, live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper, Captain.
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper, Mr. Boimler.
You also live and...
Now, the gesture first appeared in the original series episode Amok Time, and according to his other book in 1975, I Am Not Spock, it was based on the blessing performed by Jewish codename, or priests. Apparently, Nimoy saw this gesture when he was a child, and it stayed with him. And during the filming of Amok Time, he suggested it as a gesture between Vulcans, and history was made. However, whilst it is iconic, it's also surprisingly difficult.
How does that Vulcan salute go? That hurts worse than the uniform.
Over the years, people have struggled to do the gesture, and during the filming of Search for Spock, it turns out that William Shatner just couldn't do it. So the solution? Fishing line. So during filming, Shatner held his hand off camera, already tied into the position with the fishing line, and then revealed it when needed. So I guess it was really more fish line and prosper, or more accurately, the proof that practical effects are always better. During the production of The Wrath of Khan, the death of Spock was leaked. As a result, they inserted a fake-out Spock death at the beginning of the film to trick the audience. I mean, they even quipped about it in the film itself.
Aren't you dead?
Wary of that experience happening again, and knowing that they were filming a movie that was bringing back a beloved character, the production doubled down on secrecy. Sets were built out of sequence. The crew only got the script pages they needed, and all production materials scrubbed of any mention of Star Trek. I mean, it went even further. Double-locked offices, unmarked doors, chemically treated scripts so leaks could be traced, Nimoy's name removed from the call sheets, and Spock himself even had a code name. And that code name? Knack-Love. So, think about it. Have you worked it out yet? It's Vulcan backwards. And all of these measures mostly worked in keeping everything secret. I say mostly because the destruction of the Enterprise was leaked. And I guess maybe they should have spelt that backwards as well to prevent that leak. You know, you get it. Filming started on August 15th, 1983, and for the first 8 days, things went pretty smoothly for Nimoy and the cast and crew of Search for Spock. But on August 25th, things took a turn. The cast were in costume, the crew were setting up for the day shots, and later that afternoon, a Paramount employee spotted smoke and later fire coming from the New York street set, famously used in Breakfast at Tiffany's and Godfather. The fire spread quickly, and unfortunately, due to the nature of the mostly wooden sets, around 350,000 square feet of outdoor sets were destroyed. Stage 15 held the Vulcan set for Search for Spock, complete with polyurethane rocks, which, you know, are extremely flammable foam, and with the fire quickly moving, the set was at risk of going up in flames and seriously delaying filming. So, while 200 firefighters fought the fire that sadly destroyed historic sets, Captain Kirk stepped in to save Vulcan. I mean, that's something that he couldn't even do in 2009 Star Trek. God damn it, J.J. Abrams. Alongside stagehands and other actors, William Shatner manned the hoses to save the sets. Now, truly, Shatner did what he did. What he always does. Turn death into a fighting chance to live. And prevent a delay in filming so he could get back to filming T.J. Hooker. So there you have it. Now, I want to hear from you. What's that one amazing Search for Spock fact you know that I missed? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this and you want more deep dives, the best way to support this channel is to like this video and hit that subscribe button. I'm working towards 1,000 subs, and I would love to have you on board. Thanks for watching.